Battles of Legend, the missing quarter-century secret rares, and what are the fabled pull rates? I'll make the 30% of you that have not smashed the ever-living crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it so you guys don't miss out. More awesome content. Over here we have pictures of volcanic shell, and actually the fact that this made it onto the quarter-century secret rare list is actually pretty mind-boggling to me. I'm actually very, very shocked to see that they picked that of all things. And then of course we have Danger Nessie over here. Danger Nessie looks beautiful actually as a quarter-century secret rare. I didn't know like how much I would like some of these. Some of them look absolutely ugly, I'm going to be completely honest with you. The ultra lettering doesn't do them a lot of justice, so you definitely got to think about that at the end of the day. And then we see the Foxy Tune there as well, which I think the gold lettering on that doesn't look that good, especially from the angle that we have here. Same thing with the IP. They have the Lady Labyrinth, Rite of Armesia, and then of course we have some of the Sky Striker goodies up there as well. Engage looks absolutely amazing in the higher rarity. And then you have Dark Hole. My main problem with the Dark Hole though is it looks kind of just like a blob. And I'm not a super huge fan of the blobby-esque cards and how they feel. But to be honest, I guess it is technically the highest rarity Dark Hole now, besides like what, the Turbo Ultra, and some of the other First Ed too, like from LOB. It depends. This is one of those stages that you get down to, you're like, is the First Ed a higher rarity than this, or is the quarter century, you know, it really, this is why I talk about player preference on some certain high rarity cards, but I digress. But Volcanic Shell, really, Konami? Like, I'm not all that impressed with it, but like, I guess, like, but come on now, Nessie. Over here is evidently the list of quarter-century secret rares. So, Armed Neos, which we did see in the video. I think Armed Neos actually looks very, very beautiful in terms of what you can have. Assault Synchron, that's going to be very much a fan favorite pick up here. You know, especially with all the Bysteel Synchro decks, all the little interactions that you can get with that. I'm okay with that. We have Danger Nessie, which we just saw the picture of, which looks pretty cool. Dante, which, you know, Dante and Dark Arm Dragon, if I'm looking at Dark Arm, to be honest with you, the Ghost Rare is like underneath $40 at this point. So if I'm looking at that, you've got to consider the fact that that's not going to be an expensive quarter century until we talk about pull rates here in a little bit. Now, Dark Hole, which we already seen, which I think Dark Hole looks fine. It's just blob. Dark Magician, the Knight of Dragon Magic. That's an interesting one. I think Dark Magician fans are going to gobble that up, and it's going to be one of the random more expensive ones in the set. Trust me when I say this. The casual Dark Magician player will spend money on one piece of shiny cardboard, especially if they want it for their deck. Zeus now has an Alti, a Starlight, and now has the quarter century. I don't really have an idea of where that card, that and the IP, I don't know where they're going to settle at in terms of value. I've been thinking about this for a little while, but it's like, they're going to be very interesting to see. Xtox Hydra also taking up a QC slot. You know, I don't know how I feel about that either. If Instant Fusion was at more than one to actually play it for reptiles, I would care. But I feel like it's just going to be one of those cards that you're going to see show up in QC and you're going to be like, oh, wow, I can't believe I pulled that. Could have been anything else. I'd rather pull Quick Fix than that. Lady Labyrinth of the Silver Castle. Once again, this had the Starlight rare. Like, we're just reprinting it so that people can be like, oh, I didn't pull the Starlight, I pulled this. That's what it feels like. Tiara Misu is a very interesting one, but Madolche players fiend for any chance at anything higher rarity. This, once again, you know, begs the question of, hey, you know, like, what are we expecting out here in terms of, you know, Madolche? Like, do we consider the Alti first editions the higher rarity, or are we going after the quarter centuries at that point in time? So that's, we'll see about that. Number 92, Heart Earth Dragon, also made its way into QC. I'm allowed to sign at that, right? I'm allowed to sign number 92. 92 has been Ghost Rare, it's been Ultimate Rare, and now I have the chance to pull it as a QC. Yeah, I'm not excited about that. Foxy Toon also getting it when it had the Collector's Rare. I don't know how I feel about that either. Like, we're doing some weird things here. Rite of Armesia and Water Enchantress, same thing. Water Enchantress has an ulti, it has a Collector's Rare. Now it has the Quarter Century. What of the three do I consider the highest rarity? I honestly, I like the Collector's Rares versus like the blobby feel of the foil for Quarter Century. So I think I'm going to stick to my Collector's Rares, at least in terms of that. Sky Striker Engaged, no matter how you look at this, is going to be one of the most expensive cards in the entire set as Quarter Century. Like, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about that. All right. Quick Fix is also... Quick Fix is very interesting. Especially when we start talking about pull rates here in a little bit. Super Poly also showing up as a QC. It's already got a Starlight and it's got an ulti. Like, what is this? Your pick your choice of highest rarity? Like, between ulti and Starlight, I personally like the Starlight for this a little bit more than the ulti because it looked a lot better. But now you got the blobbiness of Super Poly. Batal Minus, we originally saw in the video. I don't have any real qualms with that. It's fine. Terraforming, same thing. You have the... Personally, I'll take the ulti over the Quarter Century. Bysteel Lubellion. I believe Lubellion only got the print in the set as... What was it? The QC. So it does not formally have the reprint. Probably come 10s. We'll see that. And then there's Tri-Edge Master. The Synchro in the set made its way into QC. Between that and X-Tox Hydra, we just have... There are some not bangers in here. Volcanic Shell. The thing I love about Shell is Shell gets a reprint here in the Salamander, the Fire Duelist pack. So now you can pick up your Quarter Century Volcanic Shells. And then Water Enchantress made its way in here as well, which we already talked about. And Welcome Labyrinth also made its way into Quarter Century. There are some bangers here, all right? But with the bangers have to come the inevitable disappointment of things. Now, Robbie, what are the pull rates? What is going on here? So, first thing that I want to say about the Quarter Centuries. I have heard that clumping is a ride on these cases. People have been pulling good ones back to back, and it looks like some of the worst ones weren't showing up. I heard a report of 25 cases being opened on social media, and they were like, yeah, out of 25 cases, we only pulled one quick fix. Let's do the math here. 25 cases, all right? That is only one quick fix in this 25. Now, I heard in the second batch of 25 that they opened that they got more quick fixes, but 25 times 12, that's 300 boxes. And you only pulled one quick fix out of 300. Variants, well, I mean, you're still pulling a 1 of 25. Now, you're probably like, okay, so what are the pull rates? Well, they are bunny ears, at least on the EU side of things. They are an average of 3 per case. Now, what in the world does an average of 3 per case mean? That means that there are some cases that will have 2. There are some cases that will have 4. And somebody's like, oh, God, here we go. There are some cases that will, in fact, have 3. And you're like, really? Like, we're doing this? Yeah. It's an average of 3. Now, I've heard one report, that there was one case that had 6 in it. Now, I cannot confirm or deny the validity of that one, but I thought that was very interesting. But it looks like these, I would say, are looking like they're going to be an average of 1 per 4 boxes, which is essentially, a little bit higher than collector's rares formally, but in terms of cases, that's, I guess, what you're looking at. But we'll have to wait and see till later in the week when we see, more on our side of things. But, still does beg the question of when Duelist Nexus comes around, those Quarter Centuries, I very, very curious to see what they're going to pick because, yeah. So what do you guys think? Please, leave a comment down below what you guys think. See your beautiful faces back here. Learn today, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.